everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Measure. In this channel, we deep dive into all the things that you need to know as students or quantity surveyors. In today's video, I'm going to show you a roadmap in learning quantity surveying. At the end of the video, I'll show you guys ways that you can achieve these goals. Before we get into the topic, let's understand what quantity surveying is. A quantity surveyor is one of the key roles of a construction project. They handle the budget allocations, cost estimations, preparing BOQs, and the contract administrations. The first thing that you need to know as you're learning quantity surveying is the terminologies that are used in the field. You should learn about the elements of the building as a starter and the purpose of it, so you know what you're dealing with. And try to learn about the construction technology related or based information that you can find in free sources as well, like YouTube. And what I would recommend is a book like the Quantity Surveying Pocket Book. I think that would be a really great start for you guys to understand kind of what the field is about and what are the terminologies that are used in the field. Once you're familiar with the terminologies that are used in the construction field, especially in the quantity surveying field, I think it's great if you guys go start doing some measurement works. Any quantity surveyor, they start off by taking off measurements with the drawings that they are provided with. Using standard methods of measurements, and if you're in Sri Lanka, that's SLS 573, take some drawings that are provided, or you can get some example drawings and you can take off your measurements from there. Of course, for this you need to know how to read a standard method of measurement book, and there are definitely videos on how it can be read, but I'll also be making a video later on how to read SLS 573, so stick on for that. And the next thing that you want to do as you're learning quantity surveying is reading a BOQ. A BOQ stands for Bill of Quantities. This is the document that you use to find out what are the items that are used in the project and how much of a rate it's going to cost in that specific project, the amount of quantities, and the unit that is measured in. The basic structure of a BOQ consists of a description, unit, the quantity, rate, and the amount. From a BOQ, you can find out the work item and the materials that are going to be used in it, the equipment, and the rate will consist of all three of the factors of material, labor, and equipment. As you're learning to read a BOQ, you'll come to an understanding of how to make a BOQ itself. We use previously made BOQs of similar projects to kind of get the idea of how this project is going to be written. So using that kind of a structure, we learn how to make a BOQ. Another important stage of learning quantity surveying is software. I explained it in the last video as well, and you don't need to fret about it. There are free resources that explain how to use software these days, and this is one of the main factors that you need in the industry of quantity surveying. Almost all the companies, they don't manually take off quantities anymore, and we do use software like Costex, Cubicost, and PlanSwift to get our measurements and our BOQs done. But I suggest you start off with Excel, and then once you're familiar with how to move around Excel, try learning the software AutoCAD, where the 2D drawings are made. I know you are not going to be drawing anything as quantity surveys, but it's great if you know how to read the drawings, and that's why you need to know how to move around the software AutoCAD, which then later can be also used for taking off quantities. So during my course, they did teach us AutoCAD, so we got to learn the basic of how to use and maneuver around the software, but I learned AutoCAD to its depth from the free source Allison. There are courses, paid courses around the world that you can get this done within the 3 months or so, I think. I also did take a course in that, and I'll leave a link down below for it because I can't remember it off my mind right now. But there are courses like 3-in-1 software courses that I took, which contained PlanSwift, Costex, and Bluebeam. And there's also different Cubicost courses out there, which you have to pay to learn the basics and get yourself started as quantity surveyors. Another step that I hope you guys take as you're learning quantity surveying is getting physical experience. Even if you're going to move on to being a consultant QS, I think it's really great if you have an experience in the field, because even the smallest amount of time you spend there, you're going to learn something new every single day. Even if it's the smallest construction work that's being done, it'll be new to you because you haven't visually seen it being done before. And that's going to give an impact later on when you're taking off quantities or you're going to check IPAs or something. And I really suggest that you guys get physical experience in a site and go for jobs at site if you're going to be volunteering or something, and firstly get a visual understanding of what's going to happen in a construction field. And finally, the last point that I want to make on how you're going to be learning quantity surveying the best way is networking. You really need to be in a community that talks about quantity surveying to know what's going on in the field and what are the new things that you might need to learn as you go on in your self-study or as in your field of degree. I think it's really important that you use the available resources that you have. Maybe if you are in university, you will have the access to the library where there are so many books that you can read and understand the field and what's going on in the industry. And I think that's a really good basis that you can get for yourself. If you don't have a library in a university, you can go for main libraries. They would have those books. You can buy books or print them off from PDFs and just get yourself some kind of background understanding in the field. Another way you can do that is LinkedIn. You can go into the LinkedIn social media, create yourself an account, which is pretty easy. As long as you have a Gmail or something, you can even log into a Google account and then get yourself an account started and connect with quantity surveyors and experienced quantity surveyors and experienced architects or engineers, and their experience that they're posting on that social media is going to be impactful for you because you're going to be learning something new with those posts. Mainly, I would suggest YouTube because it's a free source and there are so many information that you can find there. Apart from learning through my degree program, I learned most of my quantity surveying details from YouTube. Especially if you're having some language problems in your university, there are channels where they are specifically teaching in that specific language where you can learn and understand better. That will be a great basic start for you guys to learn quantity surveying. Alright, so I gave you guys tips on what you might want to focus on when you're learning to be a quantity surveyor, but there are easier and structured ways that you can tackle this. One thing that you can do is enroll yourself into degrees or diploma programs in any kind of institute, because almost all the higher studies institutes around the country, they have quantity surveying diploma or degree. But mind that you do have to pay an specific amount of cost for this. And if you're like me and you took the degree as a day scholar, then you do have to pay for a specific amount. But I think before you get yourself into a diploma or a degree of any sorts, I think you should understand what you want before. But if you're really sure that you want to be a quantity surveyor, I think investing in a 4-year honors degree course would be fine. But if you're not sure and you think it's just a side skill that you want, you can go for a diploma. Maybe I can explain that in another video specifically. But if you are not financially stable and you can't afford that much to learn the quantity surveying field, but you really think this is your ambition, then I think there are courses online which are free, like Allison, to learn some of the software. Or there's YouTube, which kind of teaches you how to go about and all the things and all the factors and the areas that you need to know. There are channels like construction industry, technology, and there are so many quantity surveying fields, and even my channel, we're talking about quantity surveying here. So I think that's a great resource that you need to get a hold of and make use of. And don't worry about certificates. Certificates are great, but skill is what you need. So make sure if you're getting a certificate, it will be great since you are financially not ready to get certificates on the technical skills like the software. But other than that, don't really worry about the degree certificate for now until you are financially stable and you need that professional certificate that says you are a professional quantity surveyor. But that's not important right now. All you need to do is learn the basics and learn the skills. If you guys do want a video on the types of institutes in Sri Lanka and what they provide us in the quantity surveying industry, make sure to leave a comment down below and I'll make sure to make a video on that later on in the future. And like any other field, you need the time to invest and make sure you can get this skill going on. So it's not going to happen overnight or within the week or within the month. It's going to take you months and months, and that's okay if you're ready to be part of this field. Alright, then that brings us to the end of the video. If you think this is helpful, make sure to share it with your friends and leave a comment down below. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you can learn more about the quantity surveying field. I post once a week and I can't wait to see you in the next one.